Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we'll be looking at if, else if, and Boolean conditions in TypeScript. If, else if, and Boolean conditions in TypeScript. Alright? Very good. Else if, and Boolean conditions in TypeScript. So right now we have our TypeScript.ts file here. We have our HTML file. Everything has been linked up together here using script elements. So now, like we all know, TypeScript cannot be read by the browser, so we have to compile it into JavaScript. So let's compile it to JavaScript. How do we do that? TSC, then the TypeScript file we want to compile, which is create your TS. So to compile this TypeScript file to JavaScript, which the browser can read. So use it here, right? So let's go ahead. What we have for today. So today we're looking at if, else, and Boolean condition. So we're talking about the conditional statement actually. All right. In TypeScript, we have two types of conditional statement. We have the if and else statement, then we have the switch and case switch statement. All right. So on this video, we're looking at if and else statement. So first of all, conditional statement is used to make decisions in a program. So you're writing a program in code, you want to make decisions, you want to use that to be able to make decisions, be able to have output based on different inputs. You use the conditional statement to achieve that. All right. So we have the if and else statement, I have the switch and case statement. So let's begin with the let's delve into the if and else statement. All right. So basically we have the if and else statement looks like this. So let me just try to comment what it looks like here. So we have if you have a condition, all right. We have code block to run if condition is met. So code block to run if the condition is met. You see the if statement, we have the else accompanied to it. So here, the else here is the output, contains the output the user will get if the condition was never met. We'll say, okay, code block to run if condition condition was not met. All right. So then we have what we call the else if. So the else if is handling situations in which you have more than one condition involved. No, look at this now. We just have a condition. So the in the body here, this curly braces, this is the body, will receive the code block to run if the condition was met. All right. So else here is going to contain the code block to run if the condition was not met. All right. So let's see how to look run if and else statement using TypeScript. All right. First of all, it must be typed. All right, you have to type your output. You have to type your output. So let's say you are checking for user age. You come here, we say, okay, so this is the input, let user age equal to, let's put a value there, 18. All right, 18. So create user age to be 18 here, assign a value to it to be 18. So now come over it if the condition is the user age there. If user age, all right, user age is greater than or equal to 18. So I want to create user age and check return on output if user age greater than 18 or equal to 18, and return another output if user age is not equal to 18 or less than 18. So if user age is greater than 18 or equal to 18, we'll say okay, an adult. If user age is not up to 18, it's less than, we'll let them know that, or let the user know that it's a minor. So probably go home or you can't vote, something like that. All right, so come and say, first we already have, so the condition is user is greater than or equals to 18. So the come and say, okay, First of all, like I say, you must type your proposed input. All right. What is the data type of the data you're supposed to receive? All right. So like here we have to type it. Okay, this is supposed to be number. All right. So under circumstances can you have a string here? So let me say I have John. You throw an error to say okay, TypeScript has assigned type string is not assignable to type number. So you see, so that's what typing is all about. So TypeScript, the edge TypeScript have over JavaScript, the fact that you can type, you add type to your data, to your variables, all right? You type them so that you receive pure unique data, all right? So it's easy to catch bug, it's easy to know where the problem is, easy to debug actually because it is properly typed. Very powerful, all right? So this will give an output. So this cannot receive a string, so I have to put this to be, let me say 16. So come and say consider log, receive the consider log here. So that will be consider log. You an adult. That is if the user age is greater than or equals to 18, which is this um, condition we have here. All right. So let's run this here and see. We'll run this and see. First of all, we know how to compile again. How do you compile again? TSC space script.ts, so it will compile. Good. So we compile, we'll go to our browser here where it is linked. You can have our output here. Reload. All right. So I think it's still compiling actually. So let me check what the matter is. Okay, yeah. So this is not complete. So what I'm going to do now is to complete. We'll come and say add the else. That is, if the condition is not met, what output will be returned? So we'll come and if condition is not met, we'll console the log a statement saying you are a minor. So let's use the word minor or underage, whatever you think is suitable for you, minor or underage. All right, so come here and compile this file again. All right, so come here. So you're a minor. Okay, why is it say you're a minor? What age you have? They will have 16. So the user is not up to 16. So it's saying you are a minor. You see that? You are a minor. So this is this is a typical example of when one condition is involved. All right, when one condition involved. So let's say you have cases where you have multiple conditions. We're talking about the control flow for a particular project you are doing, and controlling the flow. You can have multiple conditions. How is that handled? That's exactly when the else if comes in. All right, the else if is a component of the if and else statement that is used to include extra or another condition. All right, so let's say we want to add the else if. We come here to say else if. So else is always looked at the base of the whole tree here. All right. So you want to add another condition, you make sure that it's not at the base. You add it in the middle. So else if you have the condition to have user age is greater than or equals to 18, and less than 30. So here we'll peg this as a condition. We'll say when user is greater than or equals to 18 and less than 30, we say you are an adult, or say you are let me use a young adult. You are a young adult. All right, good. So let's add another condition to check from user age from 18 from 30. So we say okay. Second condition, user age. When user age is greater than equal to 30 and and user age is less than 50. So how from Okay, so here we now have code block to run. You say also the log you are you are an older adult. Older adult. You're not. I was seeing is an issue here, which is we didn't properly make this statement. So and user age actually perfect. So this is okay. So this is what verify is perfect. So now we have multiple condition here, right? We check. So this is so let me change this particular to let me change to 49 or 48. So to fall between this condition here. So we're supposed to have this output to an older adult. So let me see what I'm going to have. So let me recompile. Okay, so recompile now. Comment. Reload this. You see, you are an older adult. So let me put it at 18 or let me say 30 so that I want to check the output from this condition here. You can say, okay, 30 or no, okay, let me say 28. All right, so let's compile again. So come and reload this here. We have reload. You are young adult. You see, so that's how you have single conditions. You have multiple conditions using the if and else statement. So let's see other cases like we have here. We have a focus here. So if and else if. So we talk about the if and else if type. So let's see when the condition is Boolean. When we have Boolean condition, let's see when we have Boolean. So when I talk about Boolean, I know I talk about true or false. So Boolean is and that is a type of data in TypeScript. All right, so Boolean. So when I talk about Boolean, I'm talking about true. I'm talking about true or false. All right. Okay, let's make this. So a condition must return in a Boolean condition. Here, the condition must return a Boolean value. All right. So here you have in a Boolean condition, the condition must return a Boolean value. So let's look at that. So let's look at example of conditions that include Boolean value. We say, okay, let is logged in. Sorry, let is logged in equal to true. So, but you need to type this properly. All right. You come here true. You put the type as boolean. So this should always receive a boolean. So if you come and maybe add a number here, if you have an error because you are saying this is a boolean, if you receive a boolean. So we come here, changes to true. So this um, variable, all right, assigned a value of true. So we come and we check. So we also want to see how conditional statement works on boolean. So let's see if it's logging. Don't forget this login is true. If it's logging, return. So let's say you are the condition. This one is check user login. All right. So we say if it's login, right, and don't forget it's login here is assigned the value of true. That means the person is actually logged in. All right. So if it's login is true, console.log you are welcome. All right. You're welcome. Else, else, else. We say console.log go and log in. So something like this. All right, else we say go and log in. So we come here. Okay, perfect. So let's we you are welcome because it was true. Actually, it's logging was assigned the value of true. So let's change this to false. Let's say the user is not logging. So let's compile again. go and log in. That means for the user is not logged in, you see, go and log in. That's an example of when you're supposed to when we use booleans for conditional statement. All right. So I believe we've seen how switch and case, how we see how if and else statement works with TypeScript. All right. Thank you for joining. See you some other time.